This is too serious. Please help me. Please. I can't die like this. Begging you, my love. Look at me now. I really need this money. You know I work hard. I can't be treated like this.
Please come and pay. Pay everything that they want. Please, I'm begging you. You're the only one who can help me. Please, mother. Please.
Sunday Times came with another exclusive that implicates Vusumuzi Matlala, Tiego Mabusela, as well as Musa Kekana. Now it's in relation to the kidnapping of Mr. Jerry Boshoga. They've came with receipts and WhatsApp messages that are linking Mr. Tiego Mabusela and Musa Kekana and how they organized the kidnapping of Mr. Jerry Boshoga, because they only wanted 500,000 each, 1 million for the life of Mr. Jerry Boshoga. In this video, I wanted us to look at this article together. So the title says, WhatsApp clues to torture nightmare. How Matlala's henchmen plotted Jerry Boshoga's kidnapping. WhatsApp messages between two of Vusumuzi Matlala's henchmen reveal how they allegedly plotted the kidnapping of Pretoria businessman Jerry Boshoga in 2024. In the messages obtained exclusively by the Sunday Times, Tiego Mabusela and Musa Kekana also discussed how they will charge 5 klipa, which is 500,000 each, for the kidnapping.
Their father not returning from home, because every sunset they look forward to the return of their father, and the father does not come back. Like you growing up without a father. These children want their father, they want to see their father returning. And no one must do that to children and our wives.
Oh, you agree?
With your security experience, do you think Jerry is still alive? I mean, those kidnapping people, if they kidnap you to extort money, for you to give them money, a ransom and all of that. But once they keep you for too long, you become an expense to them, because they have to feed you, they have to, if you're sick, medication, accommodation and all of that. Why would they keep you this long when they know that there's actually nothing coming forward? Do you think Jerry is still alive? Not do you know. With your own security experience and your instinct as a friend who says to the mother of Jerry, this was like my younger brother. Something in you should tell you that this guy is no longer there or is still there.
Honestly, I agree with you. At some point, he will end up being a liability to his abductors. So I don't think also myself by now that if he's alive, then what are they gaining for keeping him so long and then spending money on him, but they're not getting anything in return? So it's a very hard one to accept, but obviously when you add one and one together, for me, it does not give me, I wouldn't say that these people will benefit anything from keeping him so long. I don't think so.
Boshoga was abducted in Centurion, November 2024. Despite several ransom demands and videos, he has not been seen since, and it is not known whether he is still alive. Me and you, we will tell the team that it's 1 million just to grab and deliver him, and after 3 days, we collect. These are the messages of Tiego Mabusela in a WhatsApp message to Musa Kekana. Mabusela and Kekana are described as part of a feared gang operating in and around Atteridgeville, Pretoria. They've allegedly carried out extortions, contract unalivings, and kidnappings. They are charged along with Matlala in the attempted unaliving of the taxi boss, Joe Ferrari Sibanyoni, DJ Vetis Sunki Mokubung, and actress Tebogo Thobejane, Matlala's former girlfriend. They're also charged along with Katiso Katie Molefe in the unaliving of DJ Somebody, Opa John Sifoka, DJ Ventos, Hector Buthelezi, and Armin Swartz, a Verniging engineer allegedly unalived in the case of a mistaken identity. In a WhatsApp conversation between Mabusela and Kekana on the night of February 14, 2024, Mabusela shared a picture of Boshoga with a follow-up message that simply says, "That's the guy." So here what these amazing journalists did in Sunday Times, they gave us some kind of like a picture that shows how these things are related or linked. So here we have Musa Kekana, Tiego, Mabusela, who are linked to Mr. Katiso Molefe in connection to the unaliving of DJ Somebody and Armand Swartz. And the very same Musa Kekana and Tiego Mabusela also connected to the attempted unaliving of Tebogo, Joe, and DJ Vetis. Mabusela goes on to describe Boshoga as a well-known person in Pretoria, while Kekana asked for his name so he can search for other pictures of him on social media. Me and you will tell the team that it's 1 million just to grab and deliver him. After 3 days we collect, or is it too much? Because I think 5 klipa, which is 500k each, aside for us is fine for us. If we have 4, it's 250k each. It's enough, don't you think? Mabusela says in the message. Then Kekana responds saying 1 million is fine. I think we'll be fine with it because it's just taking him. Police have homed in on Mabusela and Kekana, whom they believe to be henchmen Matlala used to carry out criminal activities on his behalf.
I get messages that Jerry's best friend, Vusumuzi Matlala, is the one who's involved in this kidnapping. And I feel so bad that it hit me so much that I know Vusi. I've met Vusi. I know Vusi Matlala's wife. I was once sitting at the same table having lunch with Vusi Matlala's wife. If that is the case, Vusi, can you be so cruel? Can you be so cruel?
Police allege Mabusela has a long history of communicating with Matlala dating back to 2021. These are the numbers which Mabusela can be seen communicating with during the time frame of Tebogo Thobejane's attempted unaliving, as well as during the later conversation about planned unalivings and kidnappings, where it is implied that Ket Matlala was involved, the police said in their investigation. That was even said during the testimony of Sergeant Gossi, if you guys can remember, because he was even asked that was Vusumuzi Ket Matlala a suspect, and did Sibiya know that Vusumuzi Ket Matlala was a suspect in this particular case? Because if you guys can remember very well, it was said that actually what happened in this case is that on the day of the raid, Vusumuzi Ket Matlala took Mr. Jerry Boshoga to the house of Langi, who stays in the same neighborhood as Mr. Vusumuzi Ket Matlala.
Matlala's house was searched for Jerry Boshoga, that Jerry Boshoga had in fact been moved to Mr. Nangi's house. Are you aware of that allegation?
No.
Was General Sibiya aware that there were allegations against Mr. Matlala that he was involved in kidnapping?
Yes.
Mabusela and Kekana were found by the police to have planned the hit on Thobejane and Sibayoni on WhatsApp as well, after their phones were confiscated following their arrest in 2024, foiling the circulation of a harrowing video depicting Boshoga being assaulted. He vanished without a trace, and his whereabouts remain unknown to investigators. If you guys can remember how painful it was in the documentary, he was begging for his life.
Please, I need this money to save my life. I'm dying. This is too serious. Please.
Jerry was last seen on November 18th, 2024, after attending a business meeting at the Roy Hitzkral KFC in Centurion. On that day, he opted to be driven by his younger brother.
He said to the brother, wait for me, I'm not going to take long. And then he was on the phone, he indicated to his brother that I'm coming back. One of them said to the brother that give us 15 minutes.
But 15 minutes turned into hours.
We called Jerry's phone to check out. It's taking forever. Then Jerry, after some time, called to say, Banter, I'm kidnapped.
Boshoga was kidnapped while attending a meeting at a KFC in Park, Centurion, and the abductors demanded a ransom of 60 million rands from his family. The kidnappers later reduced their demand to 25 million in Bitcoin and finally to 10 million rands.
Past 2 months passed, we had like Christmas. They told me they're asking for 60 million. Then somewhere in December, they reduced it to 25 million. Somewhere January to 10 million.
We don't have that kind of money. If they're asking for that kind of money, it's going 6 months, we couldn't even raise that kind of money.
Following the circulation of a harrowing video depicting Boshoga being assaulted, he vanished without trace, and his whereabouts remained unknown to investigators. There's a lot of questions throughout the proceedings of the ad hoc committee regarding Mr. Jerry Boshoga. They were asking so many questions to many different people, including the person of interest, Shadrack Sibiya. And this is how he answered.
We were receiving videos of him being assaulted, serious assault, where he was being battered and he was pleading for his life, and we were all touched. And we were all trying. I've put many teams together. We've communicated with all the service providers. We've put a team together. We've hit every house, even that what was suggested by the family. And when they say go there, we went and we hit. Sometimes we followed the phones where we thought Jerry was. We followed when we get there. It's in Limpopo. That's the wives of maybe Mr. Matlala's family. We hit that house. No, it's not the right place. So we've been all over. But I was even approached by the family, the brother-in-law of Mr. Boshoga, and then we called on everybody to be part, including intelligence, including Gauteng. They've been working together. Even now, it is the team that is still running on Jerry Boshoga's matter. It hasn't been traced, and they're working with the family. And the family is happy. I've got the report here.
According to reporters, Boshoga was a entrepreneur who also ran a VIP protection services company and a farm. His kidnapping received intense scrutiny when Witness C testified at the Matlala Commission into corruption in the justice system. Witness C told the commission police had raided Matlala's home in December 2024 after receiving information Boshoga had been held there against his will. They were informed that there was information that led to the house of Matlala as a person identified to be the person behind the kidnapping. And further information was that Mr. Boshoga had been kept captive at the house of one Mr. Vusumuzi Matlala, Witness C said. And if you guys can remember, during this testimony, they found a lot of suspicious activities that show that actually Mr. Boshoga probably might be there, because this is what this article says. However, police did not find Boshoga in the house. Investigations are continuing. Mr. Jerry Boshoga was not in the room, but there was a white sheet that was very distinctive because it had torn edges and sides, and it was manually tied to the window, Witness C told the commission. And that white sheet, it is distinctive because when one of the videos of the ransom was sent to the family, Mr. Jerry Boshoga, the sheet was visible in the footage, and we could see that the sheet in the room resembled the one in the video.
Mr. Jerry Boshoga was not in that room, but there was a white sheet that was very distinctive because it had torn edges and sides, and it was manually tied to the window as a curtain. And that white sheet, it is distinctive because when one of the videos for the ransom that was sent to the family of Jerry Boshoga, we could say that the sheet resembles the same as that on the video. Sheet had uneven edges. You can tell that a scissor was not used to cut the sheet, but it was torn apart it was teared off with hands, and it was just a white, clean sheet. And to me, it became very odd to find that sheet hanged or manually tied to the window in that house.
Thank you. Thank you, Witness C. You used the word odd to describe the manner in which the sheet was tied. Please explain why you would describe that using that word.
Thank you, Commissioners. I also can tell that when I say the house of Mr. Matlala, it is like an understatement. I was supposed to be saying the mansion of Mr. Matlala, with which I expected to see a proper curtain on that window of the room of Mr. Yusufu Mtupanyama.
That's what Witness C said. However, Matlala, who said Boshoga was his friend, claimed he had lent him 5 million rands, which had said he was going to use to buy drugs and processing machine. Matlala denied an involvement in the kidnapping. In November, he told Parliament ad hoc committee investigating allegations of corruption in the criminal justice system that Boshoga's brother had told him he had been kidnapped in Centurion.
Jerry Boshoga is a good friend of yours.
Yes.
Not a very nice man. Busied himself with the drug trade and so on. You agree?
Yes, I agree.
Are all your friends involved in criminal activities?
No,
Well, how many of them are?
quite a lot.
Quite a lot. That doesn't bother you?
Say that again?
That doesn't bother you?
You saying how many friends I have?
Yes.
How many friends?
No, I said how many friends of yours are involved in criminal activities?
Oh, criminal activities. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
Okay.
I thought you were saying how many friends I have.
No. I'm sure you have many friends. How many are involved in criminal activity?
I don't know.
Well, you knew that Mr. Boshoga was.
Yes, I know.
Do you admire people who involve themselves in the drug trade?
No, I don't.
Why?
That's what they do. I cannot dictate what other people must do with their own lives.
I absolutely agree with you that you can't dictate what other people do, but you can decide who to be friends with.
Yes, I can be friends with you today. Next week I hear that you're doing something which is not aligned with what I like.
And then what would you do?
I'll let you do whatever you're doing.
And you still remain friends?
Yes, on conditions.
What conditions? What conditions could there possibly be for
only-
remaining friends with a criminal?
I can only meet you at church.
When Matlala was asked by EFF leader Julius Malema in the parliament to speak directly to Boshoga's mother about his disappearance, Matlala said he was being misled into believing he was one of the people who had kidnapped him. I'll say that they are misleading her, Matlala said, and I think the people who are misleading her are the people who put me in prison, because I think they even went and told the same thing to Jerry's wife. So I will say she's being misled because they know very well that I, the first person who was looking for Jerry everywhere.
Me and your son, we are very, very, very close friends. We've done a lot of things together, traveled together, me and his wife and my wife, and there was nothing that I will do to harm your son. Actually, your son was like a young brother to me. So there are people who are getting between us, trying to convince you that I took your son so that you might think of me as this boogeyman that people paint me to be. But from the bottom of my heart, I've never and I will never ever do anything to harm your son or your family.
So when they say I kidnapped him, it is because maybe of my suggesting that we should tell the police the truth, and then they were not comfortable with that. And I said to them, it is either we do that or never find him. Because if we do not give them the clue, how are the police going to know where he is? They were emphasizing that we need to save his image. So me and them, we ended up agreeing on one thing. Even myself, I was tired of looking for someone, but we must lie to the police on the other side. Crime intelligence boss Dumisani Kumalo told Parliament ad hoc committee in January that investigation into Boshoga's kidnapping were ongoing, but they had been challenging. The team was working on that case is instructed by the National Police Commissioner. But soon after that operation, that case was relocated by the Deputy National Police Commissioner, Shadrack Sibiya, to another team. Recently, the National Commissioner has directed that the team must resume the investigations of this case.
Can you tell Mama that Jerry was a drug dealer, a drug kingpin? Did you tell her that?
No,
Do you think she needs to know that her son was a drug dealer?
I didn't tell her that.
I'm saying, do you think that it's time she gets to know that her son was a drug dealer?
I don't know about that.
You don't think that she must know that her son is a drug dealer, and when you destroy people's lives, ultimately this is what happens?
Because Jerry's mom has nothing to do with us. She's a mother.
She's a mother.
Whether Jerry's a drug
But I think
dealer
it's time that she knows her son is a drug dealer.
That's what you're saying.
I expected more from this particular article. For one, I thought we will get a direct link of these WhatsApp messages that are linking Mr. Vusumuzi Cat Matlala, saying, okay, they're going to, just like they did last week, at least they gave us a link that these people specifically said they're going to go to Matlala. But now there's no link. The only link that is there is that we know that Mr. Tiego, as well as his friend, who are always committing these unalivings, which is Kekana. Both Kekana and Mabusela, they are connected to Matlala and Molefe. That is the only thing. You can only make that reasonable inference. But it's not clear, it's not direct if whether indeed this is what is going on with this particular case. But we know that Vusumuzi and Matlala is the clip that I've played. He's denied knowing where Mr. Jerry Boshoga is, even though the family of Jerry Boshoga believes that he knows what happened of him. But what we know is that from Shadrack Sibiya, the way they were speaking about him, even Vusumuzi and Matlala himself, they're speaking about him in the past tense as if he is no more.
Jerry Boshoga is a told he was a businessman who actually was kidnapped. I don't have the exact date.
Sorry, General, you said was. You're speaking in past tense. Is Jerry Boshoga still alive?
At this present moment, I don't know. Nobody can say. It's quite some time and there hasn't been a communication in a long time.
Hopefully this case is going to be resolved very soon and we'll know what actually happened to Mr. Jerry Boshoga. The other person that is very important in this particular case is Mr. Calvin Rafadi, who has also been at the center of this particular investigation. And we are hopeful that one day he will be very much investigated in relation to the kidnapping of Mr. Jerry Boshoga. Because he was friends with Vusumuzi and Matlala, the very number one suspect in this particular case, who went allegedly and decided to hide Mr. Jerry Boshoga in the house of Langi, the very person who's known for kidnapping, a notorious kidnapper, who's currently on the run. So I'm so disappointed. I would have expected more. But I'm happy that at least we know that Musa Kekana and Mabusela, both involved in this particular case of the kidnapping of Mr. Jerry Boshoga. The family is still crying to this day. The torture that we saw, it will forever remain a trauma, not just in our ears and eyes, but in the family's ears and eyes. They started by kidnapping the friend of the wife or the partner of the friend of Mr. Jerry Boshoga. When they were able to return Ngobile and her son, they then took Mr. Jerry Boshoga. To this day, we don't know what happened. I don't know what you guys think about this particular story. Nonetheless, let me hear your thoughts. I'll see you guys on my next upload. Bye.